Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fortress Comic News, episode 417. I am one of your hosts, Chris, alongside my co-host here, Mike. What's happening, Mike?
Nothing much. We have a returning special guest, David Lucarelli, back on the show. Always a pleasure to see him. It's been a couple years, but we got to get him on sooner than that. I mean, we say that about all. I think, if we line up all the guests that we say that to, then it's like, okay, it'll be 2 years before we see them.
Yeah, we'll be doing 2-3 interviews a week.
Yeah, I know, right? But no, I can't wait to talk to him later. Dr. Zamba's Ghostly Tales, tie into his stage show that he was doing in Hollywood. So, yeah, good to see him again. And, other than that, just hanging out. I did talk comics in the everyday world. This week I was getting my hair cut at the barber. We're gonna get in the weeds here. Real interesting stuff. Getting your hair cut. But so my barber is a big Red Sox fan, so naturally I get my hair cut by him. The barber behind me that owns the shop, you would love Chris. I mean, he's got all this comic book stuff. So I'm always looking at, and when you're getting your hair cut by one barber, you don't generally talk to the other barber.
Mm-hmm.
There's a barber code, folks. I don't know if you know it, but we won't dive into it. But
at my barber, it's like the show, the barbershop show, where we're all sitting around just talking, everyone to each other.
Yeah.
The only difference between that show and this in real life is that everybody there is either Hispanic or white.
Yeah, right.
But we all go full bore.
But it's like, I got up and I was, I started. He's got like Hellboy statues. He's got Batman stuff everywhere. Yeah, and so I started talking about comics. Like, I got a podcast, and maybe he's listening to this episode. I don't know, but shout out to Bernie's barbershop. But he was like, I'm really into Hellboy right now. Reading the Omnibuy. I don't know. But he said he's reading those right now, and then it goes through and I'm like, man, he's kind of motivated me to read Hellboy. So I went on my local library, Hoopla app, and they have all the Hellboy omnibuses, Chris. So guess what I'm reading this week?
I gotta get down to and do the Hoopla thing.
Yeah, Hoopla's awesome.
I have so many fucking comics I gotta read.
I know, and then it was like, well, they have this. I want to download that. It's like, and then I went down the rabbit hole, and I didn't end up reading that much.
Dude, you're gonna find out in the what we're reading section. I read next to nothing this week.
Yeah,
I've got 4 manga volumes that I'm behind on now.
Yeah, I got my latest one that I haven't read. Destroy All Humans came in.
Yeah, that came yesterday.
Issue 3.
Yeah, it came yesterday for me. I bought the first volume of ElfQuest that they're reprinting because I've always been curious about that book.
Oh yeah,
I haven't touched it. You remember those omnibuys of the Marvel versus DC versus Marvel? Yeah, those are still in the plastic.
It's all right.
It's dude. Yeah. This year's been crazy. I've been super busy and just haven't read as much as I usually do.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
And then this week in particular, I did get the important stuff done this week though, Mike.
Right.
The squirrel feeders are up.
Hell yeah. That's what you need.
They got their peanuts and their corn ready.
Yep.
So year by year, we're slowly amassing more squirrels so that when the time comes, I'll have my army. Now
you just need to start smithing them little swords and little helmets, and then
it's coming. It's coming.
Then your time will come. The squarriors will rise up, right? Oh man. Another little. I don't know if you heard about this. Do you use Audible, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I've been looking to some alternatives to like big conglomerate to try to support more local stuff. Big. So like instead of Audible, I was looking for some other avenues, and I found Libro.fm. So if you're and this, they don't sponsor the show. They're not sponsoring us. I just found this one. And what's cool about this, if you like audiobooks, it's the same cost. It's like $15 a month for Audible in this. If you go on their website, they have a thing called Switch, which is a like promo code right now for the Switch. And they don't mention Amazon, but they know where you're coming from. And you get like 3 free books if you sign up for 1 month right now, which is cool. But they have all the audiobooks available. But the cool thing about it is when you sign up for Libro, you punch in your zip code, you pick a local bookstore in the area. And 15% of what you pay for, whether it's a subscription, whether you're buying audiobooks, goes to that local bookstore, which is really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. It was something
I actually have a locally owned bookstore in my town, too.
Yeah, me too. And mine was on there. So I clicked on them and it said, if your subscription, if you're doing the $15 a month, 15% of that goes to them, which is cool because I still go to that bookstore. But you know what, I do a lot of audiobooks and I still want to support them, because they're like the reason I'm into the books. So I just thought that was really cool. I wish they could do something, and then it started like kicking my brain. I'm like, I wish DC or Marvel could do something like that, but they would never give up money to.
Not them, but Comixology used to.
Yeah,
you used to be able to punch in your local comic shop, and like 10% of your purchase went to.
Yeah,
but I think that's before Amazon bought them.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
The same thing with Audible, right? Like Amazon bought Audible, and then we crushed them. Yeah. That's what happens.
Listen, I always tell people I support Comixology and Audible because Bezos just needs another yacht. I feel bad for him. Like, just one yacht? Come on.
Yeah,
like,
come on, dude. But I just thought it was cool. It wasn't a hard transition, and I did the check. Like, maybe they don't have all the audiobooks I want. Maybe it was more expensive. No, it was just a smooth. They have an app. It's really user friendly, so it was pretty easy to make the transition.
No, check it out.
Yeah, pretty cool. Other than that, just boring crap.
Yeah, and I got another insane week ahead. Well, weekend.
Yeah.
I think it's Thursday. Me and the missus are taking our kids to see Minecraft.
The movie, are they going to start throwing the popcorn around?
No, I'll start kicking some kids' ass.
Isn't that crazy, man?
Dude,
why are people?
My nephew worked at the local theater for a while, and I know like how soul sucking that is.
Oh God, I feel so bad for the workers. No, and then the director coming out and being like a jerk about it. He's just trying to. I know he's trying to make a name for himself and get more people to see the movie, but it's like, come on, at least respect the movie theater workers. Come on.
Yeah, I didn't see what he said, but
he was basically like, "Oh, I don't see the big deal." It's like, come on.
Yeah, because you're not the one picking up popcorn.
Right, exactly. You're not sweeping up popcorn
for minimum wage, may I add.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
But yeah, we're gonna do that, and no, there won't be popcorn throwing because popcorn's really expensive and tasty. So if anyone throws my popcorn,
my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that fucking song's already in my head, and I've just been sending it to everybody to share the joy of Steve's Lava Chicken.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so that, and then Friday, I am also getting my haircut, Mike. Nice. I'm also getting a tattoo that's probably going to make me very angry because it's going to be on my stomach.
Oh, yeah, that's going to hurt, dude.
I'll send it to you. You're going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then...
Is it Pac-Man, and your belly button is one of the dots or something?
No, but that...
Is that pretty good? I just came up with that off the top of my head.
It's not better than what I'm getting. I'll share with you. I'm getting a Lego Batmite tattoo.
Damn. Well, that's way cooler than what the hell? That's awesome. Did you show the tattoo artist already?
No. So the artist is a friend. Well, it's a buddy of mine's ex.
Okay.
And who's like situation, they're still cool and they have a kid together and everything. And she's done all of my this arm tattoos. Mm-hmm. And every time I go there, like any tattoo artist, they have stuff on the wall that they've designed and everything. And she had this Lego Batmite up there for 4 years, Mike. Mm-hmm. And I looked at it. That's really cool. That's really cool. She even made prints of it and everything. I have it somewhere in here. And was really happy with it. And I last time I was in there, which was earlier in the year, I'm like, nobody's gotten that Batmite. She goes, nobody has even looked at it. It's weird. I thought it'd be right off.
Yeah.
And I just looked at her. I said, well, take off the wall. I'm getting it. I've been staring at it for so long. I'm like, that'd be cool, but somebody's gonna get it before I decide to do it.
Nobody ever did.
Yeah. So it's Lego Batmite holding a copy of Detective Comics 27.
Oh my god, that is amazing. You gotta tweet it at James Gunn immediately after you get it, just to see what he thinks.
We'll see how much of my stomach I want to show, but it'll be online.
That's awesome, dude.
And then my Saturday is going to be a craft fair.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, so
are going to be comics at the craft fair? Maybe.
We'll see.
I mean, that's a homemade.
If anybody's going to find the comics at the craft fair, Mike,
it's going to be.
It's going to be me.
He's going to flip it over tables and shit. Get this yarn out of the way. Watch out, old ladies! Come on.
I saw Batman comics.
Yeah, I saw Batman somewhere. If you can get a crocheted cowl, that would be dope. That would constitute as comics.
I'm sure there will be some sort of superhero representation there in some way, and I will find it.
It is pop culture when you think about it.
$1 billion franchises.
Hell yeah. All right, I guess we'll jump into it. There's some TV news. There was a premiere for Andor Season 2. While at the premiere, the showrunner, Tony Gilroy, teased that Lucasfilms may be working on a horror project set in the Star Wars universe. He was asked about a prior interview where he said he'd like to see a Star Wars horror project and replied with, they're doing that. I think they're doing that. I think that's in the works. Yeah. It's a very safe answer when you're working with Disney, is I think. I mean, they pretty much have done every style property besides horror. We've seen some horror-esque scenes within Star Wars, right?
They've done horror novels.
Okay.
I was just Googling it because I was trying to remember because it's actually a really good book. It's not in canon anymore, but
of course.
Star Wars Death Troopers.
Okay.
Where Han and Chewie actually find a abandoned ship that's somehow got the zombie plague, and they have to fight their way out of like zombie stormtroopers.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so highly recommend that.
That sounds awesome.
It's been done, just not in like the big times.
Yeah, that's cool. No, I think it makes sense. I'm definitely interested in something like that if they do it right, you know. And even zombie Death Troopers sounds like a great place to start. Why not?
Yeah, there's definitely ways. I mean,
yeah,
I always say Star Wars, they built this great universe with all these characters and everything, and there's endless possibilities what you could do. Like, he joked in this interview, too, that he would like to see a 3-camera sitcom. And I'm just like, I'm here for a 3-camera fucking sitcom with Jedis. Like, I just bring it to me. I'll do it.
Yep.
But,
I would totally be down for that.
I'd be down for this horror.
Do you remember that DC show they did with Adam West, where they were like an insurance company? Do you remember that?
Yes.
It was on for like 6 episodes.
It was basically Damage Control, but DC.
Yeah. And Alan Tudyk was in it, right?
Yeah. I forgot about that, yeah.
Man, that was when they started to hit the peak of comic media, and then they started to crest that hill. They're like, okay, maybe this is a little too much.
Oh, that's when DC was the king of TV.
Yeah.
But then, like, then they did Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then decided, let's keep going after that, and everybody stopped caring.
Yeah, that was their problem. Yeah. But yeah, Star Wars horror, I'm all here for. Daredevil, 100%. Born Again, episode 8. I haven't watched this episode, but I'm sure you'll fill me in on I will watch it. I just haven't had time.
Okay. I really like this episode. You are gonna hate it.
Why is there no Daredevil in it?
0 Daredevil.
Man, God.
Basically, we find out that Wilson Fisk they're doing like the annual mayor's ball thing.
Yeah.
They introduce the mayor, and they like all the rich people come and ask for their favors and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's centered around that. But the B plot is that Bullseye is sent to Gem Pop, where he was given some sort of like special promise that he wasn't going to go to Gem Pop because he would be killed if he did.
Mm-hmm.
And so he begs for Matt Murdock to help him. Matt obviously has reservations about it.
Of course.
But also feels like Fisk hired Bullseye to kill Foggy. Rather than it being just a weird series of events that led to, like, we start to see that there was a plan to that death from the beginning. And Bullseye basically is just like, I will not confirm or deny until you get me the hell out of here. Matt obviously has reservations, gets mad, but it doesn't matter anyways because Bullseye finds his way out and escapes and tries to assassinate Wilson Fisk because it's pretty much implied that Fisk is trying to get him killed by sending him to Gem Pop.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a big moment at the end where Murdock may have thrown himself in front of a bullet for Fisk and is left there bleeding out from a fucking bullet. So we'll see. I think the Born Again moniker here is going to come real with this last episode. It's a really good episode. I'll agree with you that, you know, it's a little frustrating that there's not a ton of Daredevil in the episode, but I thought the episode's so well done that I'm here for it. I just want it to be good.
Right.
More than anything.
Yeah, understandable.
Even though I do agree with you, I want more Daredevil.
Yeah, more Daredevil, but I mean, I'm still watching it. It's not the worst show I've seen. So
no, I think it's one of the better. It
sounds like an interesting episode.
Yeah,
from what you described.
A big F-bomb gets dropped in this episode, which like threw me back. I'm like, I'm watching Disney Plus here.
Hell yeah, this is not your father's Disney Plus. Daredevil pushed a guy off a roof.
Well, I like the direction they're going with it. It sucks that the next episode, I believe, is the last episode.
Really? Already?
I'm pretty sure it's a 9-episode series.
Oh, okay. I didn't know we were already at the end there. That's kind of crazy. I thought.
Season length. Yep.
Okay.
9 episodes.
So, yeah, okay. Wow. Yeah.
And then the next one's going to be 8 episodes, and we'll have to wait a year for that.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Did we talk about the Bondsman show on Amazon with Kevin Bacon?
I don't think so.
So there's a show that came out called The Bondsman,
Mm-hmm.
and if you look at the promo image, is like Kevin Bacon with a chainsaw, so you immediately think Evil Dead. But it's like it's in the vein of Evil Dead, where he's a bondsman that dies and comes back to life, and he has to like kill zombies. And I was like, hell yeah. So I'm downloading the whole season and watching it on my trip next week because I was like, that's all I need to see is Kevin Bacon with a chainsaw killing demons, and I've heard it's pretty good. So I just thought like that popped up on Amazon, and I was like, this is a show that I didn't know was a thing, but it looks really good. So
I don't have any. I mean,
I'm a big
Daredevil's my only new show coming out right now, which is kind of nice. We got into a point there where it was like 3 or 4 at a time, and I couldn't keep track of shit.
Yeah.
But I think Andor's coming out soon, so that'll be cool.
And then The Boys, maybe? The Boys soon or no? I can't remember.
Let me check Andor real quick.
Andor should be next week?
Yeah, so as soon as Daredevil ends, Andor begins.
Yeah.
And then, was it The Boys season 5?
I think so. I think it's season 5. Chris is doing the live.
Expected to arrive on Prime in 2026. So we got a while for that.
All right, well, yeah, at least it'll be a little bit of a break. Well, it's the summertime. People are doing things, so... But yeah.
Disney Plus does a good job of when one show ends, another begins. In like the same kind of nerddom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's other stuff going on that I don't care about. Some fucking, I don't know, Disney princess shit going on. But as far as like, it usually goes Marvel, Star Wars, Marvel, Star Wars.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yeah. And we got Thunderbolts next month. So.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting it. Yeah, May.
Free comic book day.
Hell yeah. Movie news, Hasbro and Legendary Entertainment, according to Deadline, is rumored to be eyeing director Matt Johnson to lead the first film in their Magic the Gathering cinematic universe. I didn't know much about this director before what I saw on the Magic subreddit that I'm part of.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to like him.
Okay.
I guess the stuff that he has done is supposedly really good. He's done a lot of like low budget independent stuff. So The Dirties, Operation Avalanche. Yeah.
Well, let me real quick, because I got his career here. And I'm confused on why he got this job. Okay. So in 2007, 2009, he did a show on YouTube called Nirvana the Band, the Show.
Yep.
I already hate the show. And then, The Dirties, Operation Avalanche, stuff I'd never heard of. He then goes back in 2016 to do on quote-unquote regular television, Nirvana the Band, the Show.
Mm-hmm.
He does Blackberry, which I have heard of. That's the one that everybody says is like really good.
Yeah, he did that about the Blackberry, right, in 2023.
Yeah. And this year, Mike, you know what movie he's putting out?
Nirvana the Band, the Show, the movie?
That is correct, Mike. So half of his output is the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched any of it, so I can't really judge too much.
Yeah, it seems like he got a lot of praise at Toronto Film Festival for it. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big... So it's a mockumentary sitcom. Yeah. Okay, that's funny. I never cared for Nirvana, but...
I have controversial opinions about Nirvana, but we'll just leave it at that. These other things, I just don't see the...
Yeah, it is interesting picking this guy to start off your Magic universe. Yeah, like maybe he's a big Magic fan. Maybe that's what the subreddit was saying. I think he might be into Magic quite a bit. I don't know.
Maybe, and hopefully does a great job. And you know what? It's been praised in the past by studios like Marvel Studios, for instance, of taking people who don't have much of a career pre their Marvel thing and making something great. This could be that. We'll see. Yeah. But right now, there's nothing in that filmography that shows me that he should be helming a giant cinematic universe. Let's put it that.
Maybe he had a really good pitch.
Yeah.
He could.
That's what I would hope. That's it. Like,
yeah.
We'll see. I hope Hasbro learned from the Dungeons and Dragons movie to say, put a lot of money behind it.
Let him do
get people who respect the source material.
Right.
And you'll have a hit.
Yeah.
Even the people who don't understand the in-jokes will go along with it because it's so respectful that they will learn from people like me and you who do love the source material.
Right.
What that in-joke is.
Yeah. No, I think it's awesome. They should stick with it. I'm just excited to see some live action magic stuff. So can't wait for that.
I'm so excited for. Honestly, I've been a little like iffy about the director here. I'm so excited for this to be a thing, though.
Yeah,
I've wanted this my whole life.
Yeah, and there's so many stories and characters, and I mean, from a Hollywood standpoint, it's stupid not to do, right?
Yeah. And spoiler alert for the comic news, but like Dark Horse, could you fucking announce what you're doing with Magic the Gathering already?
Yeah, let's go. Come on. What are you doing? Comic news, everybody. Here we go. Marvel announced that this week another X-Men book. No, I'm just kidding. With issue 25.
No, but a bunch got canceled, so that's good.
That's great. Because there was about 36. With issue 25 of Immortal Thor, the series will come to an end, and that Thor will die in the issue, so he's not immortal. Just saying. Issues 23 to 25 will be the final story arc, being called Even an Immortal Can Die. Yep, there it is. By writer Al Ewing. He said that this is not the end of Thor's story, and there is more to come this fall. Okay, so the immortal guy, who's not so immortal because he can die, is not actually going to die because there's going to be more stories coming in the near future.
Did you read Immortal Hulk?
I did not.
I know it's Hulk. I know.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. And I'm not a big Al Ewing fan either.
Right.
You should read Immortal Hulk.
Okay.
It's a horror bent, body horror bent version of the Hulk.
I think it's on Hoopla, so for sure I could read it really easily.
I know it's like a lot of it's free on Comixology Unlimited. And I'm sure it's on all that as well.
Yeah.
Just highly recommend that. So I wondered from day one how they're gonna do, because the Immortal moniker made me think there's gonna be some sort of resurrection thing going on here where he dies and comes back.
Yeah.
I honestly dropped off this book so fast. I'm just not an Al Ewing fan.
Yeah.
Which why when I say Immortal Hulk's good, like it means something. And I just wonder, because I don't know if you also saw the news, but they announced who Venom was, and it's MJ.
Man.
I get this feeling that he's going to do something crazy to bring back Thor, and it's not going to be Thor or Odin's son. It's going to be like, I don't know. We'll find out. But the only hope I have is that he kills off Thor to give Hercules his own book. I know Hercules was in a few issues of this. I don't know if he died or not. So if anyone is reading this and is like, you're stupid, he died in issue 15. I don't know. I just want Hercules to come back. That's just my only hope.
Yeah.
I have nothing to base that on. It's just that I fucking love Hercules and Marvel. So do that, please.
Yeah. People are like, what are you talking about? Thor is way better than Hercules.
I love Thor too.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of Thor over my years.
I'm going to kill him.
But we don't get a whole lot of Hercules. And if nobody's read the Incredible Hercules run, highly recommend that as well. It's a lot of fun.
Nice. Marvel announced a final one-shot for J. Michael Straczynski's Versus series that will be titled Spider-Man versus the Sinister 16. The issue will feature Phil Noto, Spider-Man versus everyone. Peter Parker was just trying to have a nice night out with Mary Jane, but wouldn't you know it, the Parker look has filled the evening with an assortment of some of the world's most vile villains, with Spidey, Thor, Doctor Strange, Magneto, Loki, Dr. Octopus, Doc Ock, and many more in one room. Things are bound to explode. Were you reading this series, the Versus series, or?
Yeah, I've enjoyed them so far.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they all connect, if they do.
I like the art,
but
I think the art's really cool for this.
Yeah, I like the way the covers are designed. They're all done in this style. The Nick Fury one was really cool. The Doctor Doom and Rocket Raccoon one's really cool. I think that's all we've got. Oh, and we got the Captain America and Volstagg, which honestly is my least favorite, which is surprising. I think they're really good, and I'm down for more of them. But yeah, it seems like this is kind of his send-off for it. And that's also not a big Straczynski guy, so
yeah,
I'll say, high praise for me saying I really enjoyed it. So
gotta read.
But I'm interested in the Sinister 16. Like what's going on? Yeah,
that's hilarious. We'll see. It's probably maybe like clones or alternate universes of people.
I think it's just gonna be his, because he has a Spider-Man run that everybody likes. And I think it's gonna be just him bringing back like every Spider-Man villain he can think of.
Yeah.
Let's just go ape shit crazy with this.
Yeah, let's just go all out. That's cool. Yeah. Marvel also announced a new Werewolf by Night one-shot titled Blood Moon Rises from writer Michael Giacchino, director of Marvel Studios' special presentation, Werewolf by Night, and artist David Messina. Werewolf by Night, Blood Moonrise spotlights what makes Werewolf by Night such a captivating Marvel icon with over 50 years of comics history and 100 times as many bodies in his wake. Wow. In addition to Giacchino's story that pits the tortured hero against Dracula, this one-shot will also have a backup story by Jason Liu, writer of current Werewolf by Night Red Band comic series, celebrating the character's history and future, along with various bonus material. That's pretty cool. It's a dope cover. Reminds me of Ferals, if anybody ever read that back in the day.
I'm really liking that Werewolf by Night series that's going on right now. I'm a little bit behind, like I'm with a lot of things right now.
Right.
But it is really good. And then, you give me anything with Dracula in it, Mike.
Yeah.
I'll pick it up. So, I think Werewolf by Night's having kind of a renaissance at Marvel right now, which is really cool to see. And I'm down for this. I was a little worried it was another series, but it seems like it's a one-shot. So I'll live with a one-shot, especially if we get another cool story of him fighting Dracula and Jason Liu gets a chance to do a story in there to hopefully bring more people over to the main book.
Yeah, that's
yeah, that cover's so cool.
I know, it's really good. Yeah, it reminds me of Ferals. I used to love that book.
I don't think I ever read that book.
It's really good. It's about werewolves.
I'm ironically not a big werewolf fan, but
yeah, me either. But I just remember reading that book like when I was first getting into comics. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's it looks dope. More Marvel. Wow, a lot of Marvel stuff. Marvel announced another One World Under Doom tie-in series called Gods. That's G.O.D.S. One World Under Doom from writer Ryan North, artist Francesco Mortarino. Gods, One World Under Doom will further explore the transformative concepts introduced in Gods 2023, which I didn't read, by visionary creators Jonathan Hickman and Valerio Schiti. The breathtaking series that boldly renovated cosmic order in the Marvel Universe. Learn more about how the mysterious factions behind the very building blocks of reality operate as they deal with Doom's rule and its threat to omnipotent forces they serve. Using a combination of science and magic, Dr. Doom has taken over the world, which means when sole avatar of the powers that be, think magic god, has an interest in how to stop it. His sworn apprentice, Mia DeMaria, a college-aged woman disillusioned with most magic, some science, and definitely all her job for Wynn, is brought along and soon finds herself at the center of a crisis that could impact Earth for generations to come. Wow. Worst of all, Dr. Von Doom believes Mia has potential, especially if she were to be freed from Wynn's control. Doom offers freedom, but all the gifts from Doom come with a cost, don't they? Science and magic collide with oversized one-shots that bring the world, the gods, to the heart of the Marvel Universe. And if you don't know the world of the gods, this is the book for you. It's both accessible and apocalyptic. Yeah, I'm in it for this One World Under Doom stuff. I don't know any of these characters, but I'll probably check this out, I guess. I don't know.
So I'm definitely gonna check it out. It's interesting to me that a Ryan North is writing it.
Yeah.
Who's the Fantastic Four writer and the One World Under Doom writer. I really like that original series. I know myself and a lot of others were disappointed by the ending.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought, because it's and this is like my Hickman bias coming out, because of Hickman, there was a reason for why it ended the way it ended. And I think this is it. Like he was setting something up for the future.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be checking out just to see these characters and kind of where it concludes itself. Yeah, you don't know these characters, Mike. They were introduced and created for that series a few years ago. But so it's not like they have a long history you have to go back and figure out.
They're gonna catch me up though in this issue, is what it sounds like. So.
Apparently.
Yeah. I don't need to really worry.
Basically, they created a society where magic and science collide underneath the Marvel Universe, and whoever is in charge of it is like the god of magic.
Okay.
So, and some characters show up, like Brother Voodoo and others.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, it's these new characters who are controlling these different aspects. So it was kind of almost like mechanizing and magic in a way.
Cool.
So
yeah,
it's a cool concept. And if you want to get caught up, I think it's like 8 or 9 issues, really good issues with some amazing art. So
sounds dope.
Yeah, I liked it.
Marvel and Toho International announced another Marvel Godzilla comic miniseries titled Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe from writer Jerry Dugan and artist Javier Garrón. Look out, New York. previous dormant, Godzilla has been angrily awoken and begun carving a path through annihilation of Earth's mightiest heroes, band together to try and stop its cataclysmic rampage. But when their combined efforts fail to slow the bringer of destruction, Earth's heroes are forced to go extraordinary lengths to try and bring Godzilla down, including joining forces with Earth's most devious villains. But will this be enough to stop Godzilla as it tears through the Marvel Universe into dark dimension and other realms? Plus, how is the King of Monsters connected to the mysterious metal vibranium, and what does this mean for Wakanda? In the face of unstoppable force of nature, the Marvel Universe must come together like never before in this earth-shattering fight for Earth's survival. Yeah, this sounds awesome. The fucking cover's amazing. More Godzilla in all the universes, but everybody teaming up to fight Godzilla because they're not strong enough this is just so awesome. The cover's amazing.
Yeah, I love that we have two versions of Godzilla now, so Toho can go with Marvel and Legendary can go with DC. I saw this announcement and I immediately texted you the second I got it.
Yeah.
And I was so excited for it because I'm like, I felt like we were doing these one shots, which are really cool, and I'm really excited for it and everything.
Yeah.
But I felt like it had to be culminating with something, and here it is, everybody. Like,
hell yeah.
Yeah, that cover's amazing. And it made me go back, because Jerry Duggan's writing it, a guy I really like. But the art is Javier Garron, which you said, which is an artist I fucking love. He did a lot of Miles really Morales.
Good. Yeah.
And he's done some Avengers and other stuff. Dude, this book's gonna be gorgeous.
Yeah,
he's really such a good artist. Like, this is the dude who I watched like a short documentary about him. This is the dude who went to college for architecture and then dropped out just because he wanted to learn how to draw like cities better for the backgrounds for his comics. Like, this is how crazy this fucking dude is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think he's a Brazilian artist and he's just amazing. So I'm so excited for this book.
Yeah, it looks amazing. That cover is amazing.
Another like Godzilla poster that I want so bad.
Yeah, there's so many good covers out of this series.
Yeah.
DC announcing during C2E2 a new Elseworlds comic series titled Immortal Legend Batman. From writer Kyle Higgins and artists Matt Groom, Dan Mora, and Erica D'Urso. How does Dan Mora have time for all this?
I told you he cloned himself.
Yeah, that's what he said. Immortal Legend Batman takes place centuries from now in a world where humanity has managed to create megacities across multiple planets. So is it going to be like Judge Dredd? To do that, they had to harness dark matter, and in the process, they broke the barrier to the universe shadow that brought about the creation of mindless and soulless apparitions known as shadows. This almost brought down everything, but three heroes were able to tap into the energy that joined their world to the shadow world and became immortal legends in the process. Those heroes are Batman, Robin, and Nightwing. And as you can see in the art below, Mora gave Batman, Robin, and Nightwing some truly out-of-this-world designs for galaxy-wide adventure. Yo, this sounds so fucking dope.
Yeah, so Dan Mora designed all the characters.
Yeah, there are suits.
Dan Mora's doing the backup stories.
Okay. But still, I'm so down. I love Elseworld stories. These futuristic bat suits that look like they're going to be action figures. You know they are.
Oh, 100%.
This is like usually the Elseworld stories we get are like gritty, horrific, but this looks insane, and I'm so for it.
They're calling it a science fiction inspired Batman comic.
Yeah.
With Japanese takasatsu. Probably
like the
feel,
suits,
which means it's Batman meets Power Rangers.
Hell yeah. That's
which Kyle Higgins is known for his Power Rangers run, so
yeah,
makes sense. Yeah, this looks really dope, man. Like, I am so here for that.
Yeah.
100%.
Sign me up.
Yeah. Not as cool as Batman Beyond, everybody, but pretty close.
It's pretty close.
Did you see Mark Waid's quote about the new story arc that's starting this week with World's Finest?
Mm-mm.
He said something about when this story arc is done, the Justice League will truly be unlimited. Now, if you know that story arc is going to involve time travel, and that was one of the things with Justice League Unlimited is that it crossed over with Batman Beyond. So I have hopes, Mike.
Can we get Batman Beyond and Justice League? That would be sick,
dude. Yeah.
I don't know.
So we might get a Batman Beyond thing in the main Justice League again.
God, I hope so. That would be amazing. Yeah, do something with him. He's just chilling off in nowhere land. So.
Yeah, and you got people like me who are willing to spend money.
Yeah, I
just bought a Batmobile, DC.
Hell yeah. Not a life-size one, but close enough.
It almost costs as much. Yeah. Not really, but
Dark Horse announced a new Minor Threats comic titled Archie versus Minor Threats. Wow. For writer Timmy He, Patton Oswalt, and Jordan Bloom with artist Scott Kolbish. That's genius. It's your favorite high schoolers forced to fight your favorite costume villains in a story that will have lasting ramifications for all involved. Archie, Betty, Veronica, Jughead, and friends are on their way to Twilight City for a field trip with the magical meddling of Sabrina the Teenage Witch lands them in a speedy underbelly of Redport, the most villainous part of the town, which is controlled by Frankie Fallis, aka Playtime, and her gang of minor threats. Archie and the others suddenly find themselves drafted on both sides of the war Playtime is waging against magic users on her turf. One thing's for sure, blood and milkshakes will be spilled. That's awesome. I love these Archie crossovers they're doing. This one's just as cool. And a lot of these covers are amazing. I mean, that's cool, like them entering the minor threats city where there's a bunch of villains. I think that's really smart.
Yeah, Archie's taking some swings, man.
Yeah, good for them. I mean, why not?
Yeah. I'm not reading this book, or this series, so.
Yeah.
But I love that Archie's doing that.
Yeah.
Patton Oswalt is quoted here as saying, "Not since Alan Moore's Watchmen crossed over with Bazooka Joe." Let me stop right there. That happened?
Yeah, what? How's the thing?
Has there been a comics matchup as made in heaven as this one?
Perfect.
So
perfect. That's all we needed to hear.
Yeah. The main cover's got Sabrina in it. It's got Archie and Jughead. This looks crazy, and I'm so happy it exists.
Yeah, good for Patton Oswalt for doing this with his property. I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
I think he's really smart for doing this. Yeah. With that, I guess we'll talk about what we read this week.
Yeah. Not a ton, but I got some here.
I'll catch up on the stuff that you talked about, like Wolverine Revenge #5. I thought it was a cool ending, which I didn't realize is Wolverine's now stuck in hell. So hopefully we get another run of him just killing demons in hell. That's
possible. Yeah,
I think Greg Capullo would love to draw that. Just saying. Superman 24. I thought Lex is arrested and Mercy builds a clone with a super suit. That was kind of cool in the latest Superman. So we're kind of going back to our old ways of villainry. Godzilla Heist #2. So, from the first issue, their plan is to break into like British Parliament and get the Mecha Godzilla they're building in the basement. And so this issue, they start the heist off leading Godzilla to Parliament and just starts laying waste to Parliament and like everything around it. It's just a great issue. It's really awesome. Highly recommend this book. It's so awesome. Then I read a full volume of White Sand, Volume 1, which is the first 6 issues by Brandon Sanderson. I'm a huge Sanderson fan with the Cosmere novels, and this is one of the universes he does only in graphic novel adaptations, so he has comic writers help with him. But he does a lot of really good world building. He does a lot of his own magic, rules for magic. I would say these first 6 issues are definitely him, like, he's definitely still writing like a novel writer,
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of exposition he probably doesn't need. But it follows his typical method. He usually follows 3 main characters that end up meeting up. It's like an Egyptian Arabian Night setting, but these characters have a magical sand powers, kind of, that they can manipulate. And the story so far is really good. It starts off with like the sand mages are like a mystical group. These people come in and murder almost everybody except this one kid. And it's he's trying to reclaim authority within like this consulate of like magic users and trying to like figure out who was behind killing his people. Really great first volume. And I know Colin Kelly Jackson Lanzig and Colin Kelly worked with Brandon Sanderson on one of these volumes. I think there's
very cool.
Yeah, I think there's 3 out right now. Really good. I mean, I love his fantasy writing, and the art was really good too. So I highly recommend it if you're Brandon Sanderson. Absolute Batman #7. This awesome issue. Probably one of the best issues, I think. Yes, we get the new. So when they talked about Bane in the last issue, didn't think we were going to get Mr. Freeze in this issue.
No.
Pretty dope. And also didn't think we'd get like a horror version of Mr. Freeze. Doubly dope. So we talk about Matches Malone was a friend of Batman's within that group of villain friends. Bruce has his arm broken, so he has people going in and investigating these Arkham places. And they find out that one of them, they're all tied to like villain names, which is pretty cool. But the one they're visiting is this Mr. Freeze's lab, Dr. Freeze's lab, and it's tied to some weird bacterium. Matches Malone's face bursts into blood as he's talking to him, which is fucking graphic. So, Bruce decides to go investigate it on his own. And when he investigates, he sees this display of like Dr. Freeze's parents, because it's the child of Dr. Freeze. And they went on some expedition. They found it basically is the thing, right? They found some like ancient bacterium they shouldn't have found, and it's like turned him into this like body dysmorphic monster. Awesome. A really cool iteration of Mr. Freeze to make him like the Thing, one of my favorite movies. And then on the other side of that, Bruce and his friends are having like a falling out because they want him to stop this whole Batman thing. So there's kind of a divide there. I thought it was a fantastic issue for sure.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
just an amazing issue, and I love the design for the new Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, that was so cool. That was such a cool reveal with him like behind. He's like looking at his parents, and then he turned around. He's like a monster now. That was insane. Yeah.
So the company that's building Arc M, was like JK, I think it was called.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's Joker.
Yeah, it has to be, right?
Yeah.
So he's behind everything.
Looks like it. So
we'll see.
Yeah, I love the little nuggets throughout it. Like we got to see Hugo Strange's name pops up.
Yeah,
Poison Ivy's name pops up.
Yeah, so they drop all the villains that are part of this Arc M. So hopefully we get to see all of them. Scott Snyder knows what he's doing, teasing all of them. So
yeah.
That was a cool bait and switch though. Like send in Bane. Okay, this issue's about Dr. Freeze.
Yeah.
So
well, I think they're leaving Bane for the main artist who I'm zoning on, Dracoda.
Yeah.
Because right now, we have another artist doing this story arc.
Yeah, this is interesting art, but I think overall it's good.
I'm not a fan of his faces.
Some of the faces he drew, I didn't even know that was Bruce Wayne for a second.
He's got a hint. What's the artist you hate? Jai Lee. He's got a hint of Jai Lee in his faces.
Jai Lee in there, yeah.
Dude, I was looking at it. I'm just like, his body. He doesn't do the slim bodies like Jai Lee does, but the faces.
The faces, yep. It's just a little off. Aquaman number 4. This issue feels really short after I read it. Basically, he breaks out of his captors. We see that weird Omega symbol they're trapped in the blue. He breaks out, gets his new weapon, slices the boat in half, which is sick, and then he goes to fight everybody. But not really anything resolved. So, like I said, it almost like these last couple issues felt like they could have been one issue. So that's all I got to this week, though.
I'll add a couple. So, West Coast Avengers number 6.
Sick.
This is the inevitable issue where the regular Avengers are going to confront the West Coast Avengers because Ultron's on the team.
Nice.
So it's basically a whole back and forth discussion of why Ultron's on the team, why Tony trusts him, and everything. And then we get kind of a backstory that Ultron at one point told Tony that he could have a kill switch.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony said, no, basically it's not trust if there's a kill switch. And then the reveal at the end, as the Avengers are about to take Ultron away from him, he goes, listen, this is why. And he had a kill switch the whole time. So,
classic.
Yeah. That leads Ultron to be like, feel kind of jaded about it. He's like, you told me you didn't need this. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So he goes off and says, like, I need to meditate on this and figure out where we go forward with our trust and all this stuff. So it was an okay issue, but one I expected 100%. Like, of course, the Avengers going to show up at some point and be like, what the fuck's going on with this dude?
Yeah.
Interesting issue, Ultimates number 11. So this is a whole story arc about Thor and Sif and what they're doing while everybody else is doing their thing. And the entire issue is written in a poem.
Okay.
Which it is weird. It sounds weird, but it works. So they're basically, there's not a ton of panels. There's a lot of like 1-page spreads or like 2 or 3 panel pages where they go over what's going on in like the Thor verse of this all. Mm-hmm. And basically Loki had killed Odin and taken over Asgard and made Sif and Thor and all the like gods outcasts from Asgard. Mm-hmm. So now Thor and Sif have gone back and decided they're going to start a revolution, take Loki out. And they go from, like, you get to see the entire universe. So you get to see the dwarves are forced to work in basically a factory where they only like work on one piece at a time on an assembly line. You see the elves who are responsible for myth and storytelling. They're forced to make content, Mike, which was basically they're making propaganda.
Yeah.
But Dennis Camp's the writer. He very specifically wants you to know that they're making content, which I thought was just funny. And then basically throughout, they get a bunch of different people. They try to take out Loki. They fail, and it makes things worse for some of the different factions in there. And then we get kind of a cut to the regular Marvel universe where we see Tony Stark is awakened and in his like as he's being rebuilt in his stupor, he has this vision of what's going to happen, and it's basically that everybody's going to die. So he goes to Dr. Doom, Reed Richards, and says like, we need to figure this out. And it ends with this panel of them looking at a screen with all the Avengers being killed by Hulk. And that's where we end it. So
nice.
Very interesting issue.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. But that was everything I read. So where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Fortress Ricker on Twitter, X. Where can they find you and or the show?
You can find me on X or any social media network at Fortress Chris. Also, you can check out Substack, which is chriscomicscorner.substack.com. And if you want to follow the show on social media, it is at Fortress Pod or fortresscomicnews.com. If you want to support the show, best ways to do it, 5-star reviews on the podcatchers. On YouTube, like, subscribe, share, comment down below. And then you can check out more at patreon.com/fortresscomics. Thank you all so much for stopping by this week, watching and or listening. We'll see y'all here next week.
See ya.